We have chosen Sligo Food Run as our 2020 Cycap case study. This is an example of how we coordinated a collective effort to address local food poverty as a result of COVID-19. This was done in a fast, effective, collaborative manner for the benefit of the local community in Sligo.
As well as the rest of the country, we were all blindsided by the pandemic and the onset of restrictions in March 2020. This caused complete havoc for the Cycap programme, where we had to completely rethink how exactly we were going to deliver our actions and support the most vulnerable within our community.
On the 27th of March, we were directed by the Minister for Housing to establish the COVID-19 Community Response Forum. It involved bringing together 24 agencies, both statutory and non-statutory, who met twice weekly over the height of the pandemic.
Sligo LEADER Partnership were active members of this forum on behalf of the wider company, Cycap, and also the Community Champion programme. One of the most immediate needs that were identified at that time was food poverty amongst the most vulnerable within our community.
And as a result, the Community Champion and Cycap were able to make links and partner with Food Cloud. This was the first step in our Sligo Food Run campaign.
TUSLA set up 2 working groups in the Sligo area under the Child and Family Support Networks. Sligo LEADER Partnership, as a member of these, became active members of the working groups.
The collaboration process with these agencies allowed Cycap to reach the most disadvantaged families, avoid duplication, streamline smaller feed programmes already operating, and build on limited resources.
Our role was one of the logistics. We were lucky in that between the RSS and the TUS teams we had people available to help out. And we also had the vehicles to help deliver the food to the various people around the county.
So Sligo LEADER Partnership contacted Focus Ireland and informed us that through their social inclusion and community activation programme, they could provide food supplies to people who were struggling due to the COVID-19 crisis.
Donna from Sligo LEADER contacted us about the food parcels, and this is something that was evident in our line of work, and this was a need that we had come up against as well.
I suppose it was at a time when a lot of families in the region were in need of a bit of extra support, so Arriva were delighted to get involved in the project.
They came to us to see if we could assist them in providing food to the hub here in Sligo, collecting it from the Food Cloud distribution centre in Ormore in County Galway.
We had a number of families that we have been working with for years, about 15 years, some of them. And we have been following them, and we know how much they struggle.
So these families are living on a low income, they're living week to week, they've little to no disposable income.
The overall goal of this initiative was to reassure people in a time of crisis and to ensure that our most vulnerable are supported and not forgotten.
So our role was twofold initially. We had to meet in the Sligo Sports Complex on a Friday, where we took delivery of the Food Cloud deliveries from Galway. We would then help the girls that were there to make up the different hampers that had to be delivered the following Monday. And from there then the team of lads and girls were able to deliver around the county.
Cycap staff built up relationships with the families on the doors, becoming a familiar face every week. As a result, we were able to offer additional supports such as career planning, self-employment guidance, return to education, stress control and confidence building, workshops, and links to agencies such as TUSLA, offering additional food support once the Sligo Food Run ceased on the 20th of July.
The supply of food on a weekly basis was always a challenge. The 2 pallets of ambient food delivered weekly, while this was most welcome, it was not enough to meet the need. As a result, a food drive had to be designed. Cycap established collaborations with local businesses. Cycap also set up food donation points throughout the county in 8 supermarkets where consumers could donate food.
I suppose initially it was very challenging because a lot of these people didn't want people to know that they were getting those hampers, so It took us a number of weeks to build up a relationship with the people. Suffice to say that after 7 or 8 weeks, we built up a fabulous relationship with them insofar as a lot of the people were actually waiting at the doors for the lads and girls to call.
The main reason that we would have been ideal to develop this project is that we had the flexibility within the programme. We had the logistical ability within the other programs that we deliver here within the company, and we're able to collaborate across those programs. We were able to build on our working relationships with other agencies and deliver collaborative supports to the most vulnerable within our community.
Really and truly, being a community development company, it is very, very important that we collaborate, and we've done so on many previous programs and different events that happened around the country. So I mean, it was a great opportunity actually to show what we can do when we all pull together.
Benefit of the food run really was that the Cycap programme was nimble enough to be able to respond to a need, and through working with other agencies collaboratively was able to identify those most in need in the county. And really that's what Cycap is all about.
From our perspective, we got very positive feedback about the food parcels. So to quote just a few families and individuals who said, "Thank you so much for all you've done, and we'd be lost without you."
They're very grateful to Cycap for the help that they got.
The food run that Sligo LEADER have run through their social inclusion and community activation programme is just further evidence of the great work that Sligo LEADER are doing in Sligo town and county, and also evidence of the benefit of continued collaboration between Focus Ireland and Sligo LEADER, because we are seeing that it's making a major difference for families, those families who are struggling the most in Sligo.
We're delighted that the programme has ran for the last 14 weeks. From what we hear, has been a massive success, and a lot of families in the region has benefited from it.
The Cycap food run programme ensured that no family was left out. There was very equal rural and urban provision provided.
Cycap has strong relations and trust built up with agencies over the years.
The ability to adapt to new emerging needs.
Ability to coordinate and collaborate with other programs and agencies.
Flexibility and speedy delivery of actions.
Ability of Cycap staff on the ground to identify additional individual and family supports needed.
To conclude, I'd like to make the following acknowledgements. To Sligo County Council and Sligo LCDC, who provided us within the Cycap programme with the ability to be flexible and to adapt to new changing needs throughout the Sligo food run. I would also like to acknowledge the support of all of our collaborating partners and local businesses, without whom this project would not have been a success. And finally, I would like to acknowledge the support of our staff across a range of programmes who worked collectively to make this project possible.